You've stopped into another episode of Dad Crossing where myself, Nick, and my co-host Sean will have real, honest chats about the highs and lows of dad life. We'll laugh together at the craziness of parenting and the silliness of our kiddos, and we'll support each other through the challenges and tough decisions of fatherhood. Whether you're a seasoned granddad or a dad-to-be, we promise laughs, relatable, and sometimes raw talk, and expert help to tackle the tough issues. Not from Sean and me, but from the amazing guests we'll have on the show. So let's be dads crossing through life together. All right, Sean. Last weekend, we went to a bowling tournament, which I've already said we were going to go to that. Noah did an amazing job, bowled like 40 pins above his average, had a great time, way better than last year. He got stuck with some kids last year that just really didn't, I don't know, they just weren't good teammates. Like, they weren't bad teammates, they weren't paying attention to anybody else bowling. They'd either be on their phone or they just were grumpy, and they just weren't great. He didn't really have like an awesome time. This year he got to go with his normal partner, because last year his partner didn't come, and he got also paired up, or he got invited to do mixed teams, so 2 boys, 2 girls. And the girls were awesome. Like, they were a junior and a senior in high school, so quite a bit older than Noah. I mean, when you're that age, it's quite a bit older. And they were really solid teammates, like lots of high fives, giving good advice, just kind of helping prop him up when things didn't go the way that he wanted or they wanted. And so it was a great time. And he ended up, I think I said, bowled like 40 pins over his average. Afterward, there was going to be a pizza party, so it was like 3-4 o'clock. So we had like an hour or two to kill before the pizza party. And we were trying to figure out what to do. Obviously, don't want to go out to eat because we're going to be eating pizza. So I was like, I don't know. What do you want to do? Becca says, I could just use some cat love. I'd like to just go to a pet store and pet a cat. And I said, literally, like, I called this from the very beginning. I said, Beck, if you go to a pet store, you're going to adopt a cat. And she's like, no, I don't want to adopt a cat. I just want to, like, pet a cat. I was like, okay. I was like, that, I have no problem with you going and petting a cat. Also, to be clear, I don't have a problem if you adopt a cat, which is what I think is going to happen. But I'm just saying, So we find a pet store not very far away. It's just like a couple miles down the road. And pull in. And so at this point, I'm like 80% sure we're going to be adopting a cat. But there's a chance, like, that they're all like the hairless kind, which Becca really, really does not like. And so at that point, we wouldn't adopt a cat. Maybe it's fate. We walk in. Wouldn't you know, Sean, there's an adopt a cat marathon going on. And there's like 9 cages of cats to choose from.
No way she didn't pre-know this beforehand.
I never thought about that. I really don't think she did, though, because if Becca really wanted to adopt a cat, she wouldn't like, she would just say, hey, I want to go and adopt a cat and see if we can find one here. But she was pretty adamant that this was not what she wanted to do. So we're looking, she's looking at a tabbies, and, like, I think that's what they're called, like the goldeny yellow type. And I'm like, okay, whatever. She probably won't adopt that one. But, and then she sees this one cage, cat's name is Arlo. She's like, oh, where's Arlo? And he's like, oh, he's hiding behind the litter box. And so they pull him out. Now, I didn't know what this cat was called, or like what the type is called. The breed. I almost said the model. The breed.
The model.
But it's called a tuxedo cat. So all black, like Boo, except it has white paws, some white on the face, a little white on the chest. At this point, I'm 100% sure we're adopting a cat, Sean. 100% sure. And so I'm like, well, I haven't had anything to drink all day because my drink spilled and I was too cheap to buy their very expensive drinks at the bowling alley. So there's a Wendy's across the parking lot. You spend time petting that cat as much as you want. I'm gonna go get something to drink and buy myself a junior cheeseburger. I look at Noah. I'm like, what do you want to do? He's like, oh, I'm gonna stay and pet the cat. Cool. I go over there, hang out. I'm like, just tooling on my phone and enjoying something to drink. And I get a call from Becca, and she says, she says in this like really timid voice as I answer the phone. So, would it be awful? Would it be awful if we adopted a cat? I'm like, no, I already told you. I knew we were adopting a cat. Like, this is not, like, you need to catch up to me. I already knew where we were. I was just waiting for you to be like, oh, we are adopting a cat. And so I'm like, no, if you want to adopt the cat, that's fine. As long as two things. One, we said this would be a family decision. So Ariel has to, like, be on board with it. We have to call her, show her some pictures, blah, 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 blah. And two, we got to be open on Sunday because this is only Saturday and we have to spend the night in a hotel, and that, it's not going to happen with a cat. And sure enough, both of those things were solid. Ariel was over the moon about this cat. And also they were like, yeah, we're open on Sunday until like 3. And that worked out just fine for us because we were going to be done around 1. And so, yeah, we have a cat. We renamed him Domino because it's black and white and Domino, and there you go. And we call him Dom for short. And he's a pretty chill, amazing cat. Super cuddly. Kind of, I mean, I hate to be a jerk because, you don't want to speak ill of the dead, but he's kind of just the opposite of Boo, like, who was like high strung and could be mean and really would not be considered a family cat. Like, Domino is like chill.
She just let you live in her house.
Exactly. That's 100% true. That is exactly the statement with Boo. Yeah, Domino's like chill and cuddly and like whatevs, and I do forget what it's like to have a young cat, because I mean Boo is 13, and so like he jumps up on the couch. We have a pass through from the living room to the kitchen, and the pass through is like, I don't know, probably 2 foot higher than the couch, and then there's like a 5-foot drop on the other side of the pass through. He's cool. He just jumps on the couch and just like vaults over the pass through into the kitchen, like, and and I mean, I Boo used to do that as well when she was only, because he's 2, so he's not a kitty, but he's not, he's still spry. And so yeah, he has a bunch of energy. Still trying to figure out the night routine. He gets kind of meowy and wakes the house up, but he'll figure that out. He's really good with the litter box, and so yeah, we're new cat owners.
So look at that. You've kind of fallen on your feet with a good cat. That's always a good.
Yeah. No, he seems really cool. I'm happy for both the kids, but specifically Ariel, who is very much more like the animal lover, who always really wanted to love on Boo. Yeah, but never really could. So she's over the moon about that. So yeah, and that was somehow the biggest news out of going bowling with Noah. But Noah did really good on Saturday. He did good on Sunday too, but he didn't think so. He remembered the games on Saturday being amazing, and he really wanted another like set of 6 amazing games, because Sunday is no teams, it's doubles, 3 games of doubles and 3 games of singles. And he bowled really well. He bowled what he was bowling, throughout the year, but he wasn't bowling his like 40 over average like he was on Saturday. So, but he did good. So, and here's something. 3-hour drive home. That cat was amazing. 3.5.
Yeah.
3.5 hour drive home.
Chill down.
Yeah, we took him out. We bought a traveler case, and and we actually bought a litter box out there too. We're in the auto litter box time. We've entered the generation of automated litter boxes, and seems to be working out pretty well. But yeah, we had a little travel case. He seemed chill, so we took him out, and he just like laid. He'd hop from Noah's lap in the back, and then he would like come to the front in Becca's lap and sit in Becca's lap, and he just went back and forth, super chill. Except for we had to put something in the in my well on the driver's back passenger well, because
something from going under.
He was able to. There was a slight panic when I was at a stoplight, and all of a sudden I looked down and I had a cat like in between my legs, and I'm like, not real sure what to do here. So yeah, mine is that small snafu. Everything went just fine.
Yeah. God, you imagine that'd make a completely different headline that you couldn't hit the brakes for some reason because there was a cat stuck under the brake pedal, and so
Oh
we had
man.
we had Arlo for all of like a day.
Jeez, that's the worst. That'd be the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. So luckily that was not the headline. I was able to I just kind of pushed him over to the side and I was able to kind of pull off to the side of the road after I got through the stoplight and remedy the problem. So
Has anybody got a hoodie I can use? Ram.
Yep. Yep. So bowling ball traveling bags have many uses. One of
Perfect
them,
size.
yeah,
Yeah.
perfect size to shove into the passenger side well. So that was our weekend of bowling and unintentional cat hunting. So yeah, how was your
How,
weekend?
um. Well, we what did we do? We housed Grandma Thursday night. She came back up from Leicester. Um, we housed her Thursday night because they were getting some of the decorating finished off in the house. And then Friday, she had all her carpets fitted in the house. And then Saturday, all the stuff that we were storing here, we took across. Um, I did I did a bit of plumbing work. I did a bit of electrical work. And I did some furniture building, bits and pieces like that. And then we started moving everything back in. Cleaned everything up as it went in because the stuff that she'd had in the house that she wanted to keep that she took out when it had come back from storage, obviously where it had been had like damp in it.
Mm,
The mold had come through and kind of
yeah.
spawned and then died.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I can't really let you take that in until I've bleached it all down. So bleached everything down, um, got it all nice and cleaned up, looking really good and stuff like that. And then, oh, excuse me. And then yeah, that was it. Saturday, like mid afternoon. Lindsay's dad took me from grandma's and brought me home. We stopped off and had a celebratory beer in the tap room place, then like a village or two across, which is one of my favorite places to go for a beverage. Um, and yeah, that was it. Saturday, she was moved in, all done.
She's got to be over
End
the
of the.
moon to be back in her own house.
Yeah, she was. She was very excited, and it looks like it's unreal the
Oh,
difference
I'm sure.
it makes. So like the house feels warm. It's because it's got all new floorboards down, and then it's got all new ply boards down, which are thicker than the original ones. She's got a thicker underlay, a newer carpet, like brand new kitchen, which is like really nice. Like I was kind of envious of the kitchen. Um, but the house just feels warm throughout. So, which is good because
Yeah.
for an elderly person, you want it to be nice and
Yeah.
warm all the time. So, but yeah, she's happy. We're happy. I'm going across there tomorrow as we're recording. This is Thursday, the 23rd, because it's Emily's birthday tomorrow, which is the 24th.
Happy
Um,
birthday.
yeah,
How old is
14.
she? 14. Okay. Yeah.
14. So I'm going across tomorrow once I've done the school runs and stuff. I think I've got a skip to fill of all like the stuff that got broken down from fitting the new kitchen. It was all just left outside by the
Mm-hmm.
kitchen fitters. So they've sent a skip for me to fill. Take her to do a bit of shopping if there's anything she wants to pick up. And
You're
then
back to
depending on what
grandma
time,
shopping again.
back to grandma shopping again.
I love it.
And then depending on what time all that gets done, I might take her down to there's a place called Farmer Copley's, which is a working farm, but they've also got a farm shop on site and a really nice tea room.
Mm.
So I'll take her down there and we'll go and have tea and scones.
Sean, one day I want to come to you and we can have tea and scones. Sounds amazing.
Okay.
I love
Yeah.
tea.
As long as you're happy with like clotted cream and jam, that's
Dude,
fine.
I'll try anything. I mean, jam for sure. Clotted cream, I don't really know what that is. So, I mean, again, I'll try anything.
Yeah, I think it's just cream, but not like it's not runny. It's a bit thicker, and you can spread it like butter.
And you spread it on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
scones? I
yeah.
mean,
So you cut the
no
scone in
problem.
half, and you bit of a lot of cream first, and then jam on top of that, and then eat it and get it all over your face and hands, and then
Come on,
carry on.
come on. But tea, dang.
Yep. And
Okay. What day?
then Sunday, I was going to chill out after like having a busy few weeks with the decorating here, and then I was decorating at grandma's, and then moving everything in and stuff like that. So I gave Rex his summer haircut, which he looks very trim and proper.
Nice.
Um, and then I started painting my fence, which I thought was going to be a quick ordeal. I've got like started at 11:30 in the morning. I was like, I'll get this done by 5 o'clock, completely done. I'll be like knocking off and sitting down and relaxing and staring at my newly painted fence. 4 hours later, I did 5 panels. It took a lot longer than I expected.
But it looks really good what you did do. So it's gonna
Yes.
look amazing when it's done.
Yeah. So I've changed my mind about part of it though. I was going to do all the fence in that dark color, and then we have like some railway sleepers with decking boards on top, which kind of segregate some stones off from the rest of the garden that the trampoline used to be on. I was going to do those in the same dark color, but I think I might just get some creosote and kind of just stain them and take them back to natural.
Okay. We need to have one of those UK US conversations. Are railroad sleepers the big posts that go under the rail? The rail what the
Yeah,
rail?
so
Okay.
like the wooden posts, the
Okay.
wooden bits that go
All
underneath,
right.
which are now usually concrete.
Okay. Yeah.
But
In America, we call them railroad ties.
oh, okay, so
So
railroad
there
ties.
there you go. I mean
Yeah,
it made sense. I mean sleepers make sense too. The moment you said it, I was like, what is he talking about? Oh, I think I know what he's talking about. So yeah. But
yeah.
I need
But
clarification.
no, yeah, that's those. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 8 in like a big square.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I
Mm.
see we use them over here all the time for landscapey stuff too. So
Yeah. So used the square that it's in used to fit a 12-foot trampoline in. So 12-foot
nice.
round trampoline. So it's a good space, and it's kind of wasted now because that is it's the space that gets the sun for most of the day.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. We
Mm,
haven't made a full decision whether or not we want to put all the patio furniture in the corner where the hot tub used to be, looking out across the garden, or at the other end of the garden where the stones are, looking back to the house. So
sure.
haven't figured that out yet.
Sure.
I'd like to do it from where the stones are, looking to the house, and the only reason I'd like to do that is because I could make a pretty quick like pagoda that would
Mm,
go over the top.
mhm.
Um, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't take long to take the wooden decking boards off the top of the sleepers and just put composite decking straight across.
Mhm.
So, but first is turf. I'm ripping the turf up and putting fake turf down. So
You got a busy summer, man. I mean
yeah, and
you
I've
got
got
the
I've got a driveway to make at the front of the house as well. So
wait, what? Like you're pouring the concrete kind of driveway?
no, I'm gonna make a gravel one
Okay. All right. All right.
or a pebble one, but
Yeah.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1 meter slabs at the front. So it's like an 8 meter long path that I need to remove, dig up, flatten, and level, and a drain cover that I need to remove, lower, and level as well. So I've got some work to do, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like you got a busy summer. You know exactly. You already have a to-do list that'll take you deep into summer, I would imagine, unless you're like
yeah.
very, very like productive.
Well, these are
Much
all
more than
plans
me.
I've had for like the last 2 years, and then it gets to summer, and like I either don't want to do anything because it's too hot,
Mm-hmm.
or we have other stuff going on. So
Mm-hmm.
this year it's like other than like mine and Lindsay's 40th this year. we don't have a lot else going on. So we're not moving Jaya to uni because she's here. We're not,
Hmm.
you know, we're not going abroad on holiday. We're just so like
Yeah,
I can pick a decent like it helps with the shifts. So if I get a
sure.
couple of good days off and my DDO's in there as well, um, I have a good week to do it. So I can like spend a day digging everything up, and then I can go and get all the stuff that I need to weed barrier it all, and then order the stones to arrive and just temper them down, and I
Yeah,
can have a week at doing it, make sure I do it right. So
yeah. No, I think it's. I think that sounds awesome, but
yep,
also like how to work. But yeah, I hear you. Like the summer. Well, there's two things. There's like a million things going on, and for me specific, and well, I guess for you too, because I mean our school systems look a bit different. You guys don't have like the large one chunk of time like we do, but you guys have a lot of time off in the summer.
yeah, they have. I think they currently have a term now. They've got 5 weeks left. Then they have a week off, and then they go back for 7 weeks, and then they've got 7 weeks off. So
Yeah, so we're only different by 2 weeks, really. So
yeah,
because they have a chunk of 10 weeks straight off, where you guys have like 8 weeks, kind of in two different pieces.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, so like I'm off, and I'm like, well, we're doing a Universal, and that's it. But then like it won't fail that Becca will be like, well, we're all off, so why don't we just take a day and go here and do that and do this, and then there's sports that are on top of all that, and so it's like, oh, okay, wow, where did the summer go again? I'm confused. It's August, like, so I know that feeling for sure.
yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I like to be busy. I think since we started decorating the bedrooms and then all the stuff with like taking grandma's kitchen out
Mm-hmm.
and helping them put things back and get that right, I've kind of got the confidence to keep doing different things.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my next one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then what have I done this week? I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Um, which in that time period I didn't eat. I think I finished. I had breakfast 8 a.m. Monday, and then I ate at 8 a.m. this morning. So like 72
Ooh,
hours.
man. Man. So are you doing this for weight loss purposes, or what's the purpose
More of a discipline purpose,
here? Okay.
and seeing how I feel and how it affects me. So I've done 24 hours, I've done 48 hours, and I've done 54 hours. So I made the jump from 54 to 72. Um, I found the 54 was easy enough and thought I could push to 72. So I did.
Sure.
I felt great. Felt amazing. I felt sharper, more focused, like
Cool.
less inflammation. Aches and pains had kind of gone apart from the ones that I expected to be there from like being busy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, feel great. So not so
Yeah.
much now because I've eaten and my body's like, whoa, we've got food in us. So, but I've been very careful. Yeah, I've been very careful with what I've eaten today.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
very structured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, speaking of food, Noah and I tried something we wanted to try for a long time. We made tachos.
What's the tattoo?
So we saw it on over here on Food Network channel. We have a thing called the food truck race, where it's like 8 different food trucks start off on one part of the country, and they drive throughout the country, and by the end of the season, one team wins, and they win the food truck, and they can start their own business of their own food truck business of their dreams, basically. So one of the trucks made tachos, which was basically nachos with tater tots. So
That sounds amazing.
yes, we need to perfect
Isn't that
it.
like dirty fries? Is that not like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
version of
yeah.
dirty? Yeah.
It really is kind of like that. Yeah, we need to perfect it a little bit. It wasn't cheesy enough, so we need to cheese and meat it up a bit more. We use like just regular like ground taco meat, which is fine. That worked fine, but we need a little bit more cheese, and like I think I'm actually gonna do like like a layer of like liquid cheese and then like cheese on like regular cheese on top
Yeah, I
of
was
it.
gonna say, can you not get the like a cheese sauce that
Yeah.
you'd put on mac and cheese, that kind of?
Yeah. That's definitely what we need because it just it was too much tater tot, not enough cheese and meat. So we're gonna play with it, but it was fun. We always thought it sounded amazing. When we went to Bay City, we remembered it again because we went to this barbecue place that served tachos, and they were really good. They were not like tater tots frozen. They were like tater tots like yay big. Like I don't
Whoa.
know. So for listeners, probably like 3 inches long and an inch in diameter. Um, and you could tell they had like shredded it and compressed it and fried it themselves, and it was really good. But then Noah was like, "Remember, we were going to try this," and I was like, "Yeah." So we did this week. It was fun.
Cool. I'm now thinking like, what could you add to it to make it more meaty rather than taco mince? I like do proper barbecued pulled beef.
Ooh. Oh, I could do that. I have pork loin right now in the fridge. I could totally make pulled pork tachos. Shut the front
Yep.
door. I feel like
With
I'm gonna have like a tacho food truck in like a year. That's what I feel like was gonna happen here. I can't.
so
That's a bad
that
idea. That
happens, I will come and tour the area with you and serve people tachos happily.
feel
Yeah,
like
that'd be amazing.
I feel like I'd be a drug addict selling drugs. I'd eat too much of the product.
Nick, where's all the tachos going? I don't know, but I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I should probably table that. Let somebody else take that.
Ah, that's awesome. Um, the only other thing I've done this week, other than the fasting and all that, is I went into. I think I talked about it a while back that I'd signed myself up for it with a company called Skills, who if they do end up listening to this, because they said they were going to end up listening to a few of our episodes. How you doing? Hi, Sam. Hi. Um, and so the premise of this is that to go into a school like for an hour a week for 10 weeks and kind of do interactive games with the kids um, to try and give them some confidence in finding more about themselves and how they can apply that to school for now, but how like the different skills and stuff like that they can use for CV writing, interviews, or even like thinking about what they want to do in the future. Um, and the school was really good. Um, they did a survey where the kids kind of gave positive and negative answers, and they grouped the negative kids together and kind of put them into this program. So like the kids that we got were the ones that weren't 100% certain what they wanted to do or had like a bad attitude towards you know being in the school system and wanting to apply themselves and stuff like that. But that didn't come across when in the first session. It was amazing. I had a group of 4 kids. I had 3 girls and 1 boy, and they were fantastic. Um, it took a while for the boy to warm up, but I think it was more of an uncomfortable situation for him as I was a stranger, and the 3 girls he was with, I don't
Yeah,
think are in his usual circle.
gotcha.
Um, but like he was great. He didn't say much at first, but then when I got him talking and like realized he was big into gaming. He had built his own like working web shooter kind of thing where it had a motor for retracting, and then it spooled itself out and had a suction cup on the end, and he could suction cup stuff. Um, so that was pretty cool. He was telling me about that.
You're going up and down. I don't know if it's my
Oh,
headphones or what.
is it
The
going up and down on the bars?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're fine there. Like I just don't know why I'm hearing it different, but
Oh, I've
I don't
no
know.
idea.
Okay, but yeah, no, you're in the yellow, so we'll go with it. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Okay,
So
interrupt.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to. If there was something simple that might have happened, I didn't know. So, but we'll keep going because
No,
your your
yeah.
your bars are moving.
And like so he eventually came around. And like how it was structured was us mentors went in, there was me and a few of us. And we set up the room. So we like made a few tables into squares, put some chairs around them, sat down and waited. And then the kids came in and they kind of were asked to kind of naturally gravitate to a table. That sort of thing. I made this piece of laminated card and it had a handprint on. And we brought this card out and we kind of introduced ourselves, like where we were from and why we were there, and then like asked them using the handprint from 1 to 5, how are you feeling today? So 1 being the worst, 5 being, absolutely awesome. I got three free scores and one score. Um, so like asked a few questions as to why they were so low and stuff like that, and it does sound like they'd had a bit of a hard time that day in terms of stuff going on at school. So I talked a little bit about asking them questions. Have you done stuff to kind of tell somebody that this has happened? Because if not, then it's something I could highlight to the head teacher that was there with us. um, but she'd escalated it all up. So then the first task was all like riddles. So I had a sheet with 10 questions on, and it was all like what has hands but no arms. Um, you know what gets bigger the more you take away, that kind of stuff,
Okay.
which was really good. And some they got it, and they didn't get some of it, but that's absolutely fine. And then what was the second one? Oh, the second one was really fun. This is where the young lad really came into his own. This is like as soon as like they mentioned what they had to do, he literally just could see the cogs turning in his head. We got given 10 sheets of A4 paper and a roll of sellotape, and we had to make the tallest freestanding tower using just the paper and the sellotape. And it wasn't allowed to be stuck down on the table. It had to be free to move from the table somewhere else. And like instantly he just grabbed bits of paper and he rolled them up and he was like, right, okay, we're going to make these legs and then we're going to make a stable base and then we'll build from that. And I was like, cool, I'll just keep handing you tape. So I had one girl with a pair of scissors and she was cutting the tape as I pulled it out, which was getting pretty scary because she was getting very enthusiastic about it and nearly took my fingers off. But she was great. Um, so that was that one. We didn't win that one, unfortunately, but we built a tower that was 37 inches tall using
Wow.
A4 paper and sellotape, and it was definitely rushed to 37 inches tall. But it was good. It was good fun as well. We had a good laugh. And then the third one was all anagrams and code breaking using the alphabet and numbers to work out words. The fourth one was a memory game. So I had a piece of card, had 10 pictures on, and then like they got 30 seconds to memorize the pictures between them and then work together to remember them. But they had to draw them what they remembered rather than just shouting them out. That was pretty good. And then the last one, I got handed a piece of card and it had loads of little pictures. It had 20 pictures on. And I had to act out in a charades manner, like what those 20 pictures were. So that
Hmm.
was fun.
And then
One of them
they
was
guessed basically.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So, one of them was I had to act out being a unicorn. So I was like, I stood there for a while, thought about it, and then just went down on all fours and put my finger
Mm-hmm.
on the front of my head like this.
Yeah.
And they all four of them just went unicorn. And I was like, yeah, and they all started laughing. So
I love it.
it was good. And then we finished off kind of explaining, what we'd found about them in terms of their skills and qualities and what they can contribute, and like a couple of them were surprised about it. And then we asked the same question again from 1 to 5, like, how have you been? And I
Good idea.
got two of them up to a 5, which was awesome.
That is very cool.
And the one that was a 1, I brought her up to a 3. So,
That's
but
awesome.
I came away from it, and I even said this to Lindsay because she asked how it went, and I felt really rewarded for doing it. I felt really like and I can now understand why people like to work with children and teach and stuff like that, because if you can get that kind of feeling every day, I can absolutely see why they love the job.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So would you be with that if you go? Are you with that same group again? Like, how does that work?
I'm we're with the same group like as a combination of kids, but we might be separated into smaller groups of different ones.
Okay. Okay.
So, but it depends on how they feel. So,
Sure.
I guess.
So, oh, that's right, because they naturally gravitated towards a table, you said, right? So,
Yeah.
and that made the group. So, if they all naturally gravitate towards the same table again, which would be me, by the way, I'd be like, oh, I don't really want to have anybody else new. Who was I with last time? That would totally be me.
Yeah.
I also find it interesting that it was mixed, like that it was mixed gender, and it wasn't like all boys or all, all boys for you is what I. So,
Yeah. There was a table of all boys, and the teacher was like, let's take two from that table and put you onto different ones, because I'm assuming that she noticed that like our group of friends had all ringed together, and they could cause a bit of bother when they're all together.
mm-hmm.
And he came and sat with me for 5 minutes, and he was sat there and he was just shuffling, and like, not didn't want to be here. And I was like, do you want to go back with your friends? And he was like, yeah, I really do. I was like, I won't be offended. I totally get it. And he was like, "Oh, okay." So I just bye.
So, what ages was this again?
Like 13 to 14.
Okay, all right, yeah,
So what we class as year 8
okay.
over here.
Cool. That's that. So how often do you do it?
I'm gonna do that once a week for the next
Wow.
9 weeks now.
Okay. So it'll be the same group of people, like group of kids, like however many
Yep.
kids it was in that group. It just might be different small groups for you within
Yeah.
that same
So
group. Okay.
there was supposed to be 24 children, but three of them were not at school that day, so it ended up being 21. So
Okay. Okay. And so how many of you are there?
there was supposed to be 6. I think there ended up being 2. They ended up being 4.
Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah. So if all 6 are there, it'd be a much, well, not about a much. If the kids are there and 6 are there, it might add
Yeah,
up
it'd be
closer.
smaller groups.
Yeah, smaller group by a bit. Yeah,
But
that's
no, I'm looking
that's
for
really
it.
cool. I
And
like them. Go ahead.
one of the weeks they're coming to the power station to
Oh,
visit
that's
me at
fun.
work and like do a bit of a tour and stuff. So
Like all of them, or
yeah, all of them.
awesome. That's cool, and you get to do a tour. That's super cool. I like it. Do they visit all the? Are they? Is everybody that's you from Drax, or are they from different places all over?
Um, all from Drax Bar 1. So
Okay,
it's the Drax educational group with like that works with the power station for doing outreach programs for like kids and stuff. Because we have a farm that we call it a farm, but it's our nature reserve.
okay,
And like we get school trips there, and they kind of do learning projects with them there,
sure.
and green projects and stuff. But they also bring them on site to the power station and do tours and workshops with them and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So
that's really cool. I think that's a neat program. I like the mixed, or I find the mixed gender interesting. I can definitely see like pros, like being a guy, you're less likely to be. At least I would have been less like. There's a guy that's probably more likely to show off if there's girls in the group. I was not that guy. I was more likely to not show off if there was girls in the group and like toe the line. So I think that's I think it's interesting how that lines up. I also think it's interesting that the groups are made basically naturally wherever they sit at a table, right?
yeah,
That's fun and interesting all at the same time. So
and it was
as
good.
like
It
their
was
own.
I'm looking forward to next Tuesday.
Sure.
Work were really good about it. They give me time to come away from work on Tuesday to go and do it, like a bit of volunteering. But that's on the premise that I'll be giving up my own time on my days off to do it, so that kind of pays back.
Sure. Sure, that makes
So.
sense. So, are you at a school where like Emily is? Is it Emily? Like,
No,
no, okay, different school.
it's yeah,
Okay,
it's like a 30-minute drive from here. So
okay, all right.
yeah, I'm under the school that I'm at. Though is under the same umbrella of schools that Lindsay works for. So
Oh, cool,
yeah,
very cool. That's awesome. I think that's really neat. I'm excited for you because I think I do the youth group thing on Sundays, and I see it all the time, like just how cool it is to pour into to youth and be able to kind of just, I don't know, help them, like you said, come into their own a little bit and
Yeah.
show them that somebody's there for them. Because
Yeah.
you don't know their story, right? You don't know how many
Nope.
people, like maybe they have a great home,
Uh,
maybe they don't.
well, this is it. We were told like that there was some there that had additional needs. There was some there that um weren't the greatest in class. One that was always truant in, who actually stuck for the session. So they were really impressed with that. So, which is good. It's good
Yeah,
news.
yeah, awesome. Good job, Sean. Good job, man.
Yay!
Yeah,
Felt like I was giving back, which is
yeah,
nice.
yeah, for sure. Um, let's see, other things for me in the last 2 weeks. I'll kind of go over quick. I had a fundraiser. It's one of our bigger ones, and it was a super big success. We had 150 people come out. So for Habitat, raised right around 16 grand all in, something
Nice.
somewhere in there. Yeah, yeah. So that's not net. That's like gross, but yeah, it was a real fun time. Um, not not my cup of tea. It's probably the thing I think I've talked about. I like doing. I feel least good at in my job is like I'm okay being on stage doing like the presentation. Ironically, like that's where I feel okay at. But the like one-on-one shaking hands, trying to remember names, trying to relate and not be awkward and do small talk as I walk around to table. My least favorite thing about my job. I'm just not. I just don't particularly like it. So,
Yeah.
but it was a great
Small,
it was a
small,
great night.
small talk is one of those things that's really difficult to do and is uncomfortable because you either end up repeating the same things or you kind of don't know how to work into a conversation with
Yes,
somebody
yes,
when
yes.
you first meet them.
Yeah. You and there's always like this thing because I am not great at names, so there's always this thing in the back of my head of like, should I know that? I feel like I should know that person's name, and I don't know it. Oh crap! Here they come. Oh man, I'm not gonna know their name. Now they're gonna be like, oh, and so so there's
Surely
always that.
there should be a name tag policy.
I know, right? We really should make everybody wear name tags, but it's okay. It doesn't matter because you get caught. Like people are very astute. Like they're gonna see like your eyes glance, like boop. Oh, hey Jim, how are you? Like they get it. They get that you just looked at the name tag. So yeah. I wish I thought that would help more than I think it actually would. Anyways, so that was cool. Shout out to the Duke, who's been on this podcast a while ago. It was his birthday and he
Woo!
still came and supported us at the bash. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Good
yeah,
for showing out.
it was very cool. So shout out to him. And then my kids did the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory play. They did an amazing job. All the kids there did an amazing job. It was a great time. I ran sound. And so they did great. Everybody did awesome. So that was fun. And that was when right after that, we drove to Bay City. So for 3.5 hours. So yeah,
Yeah.
but it was fun. So yeah, those are my those are my big highlights. The only other thing, I don't know, you want me to talk about the soccer games now, or do you got anything else before we go into
Yeah,
that?
let's do it.
Okay,
It's
I didn't know if you had anything else.
I said it. We've got the only stuff we've got coming up, like I said, is Emily's birthday tomorrow. Unfortunately, she's at school, so we're doing like a quick present unwrap thing in the morning. Then she's going to school and she's going back to her mum's. And then we've got my niece's 18th on Saturday evening. I'm going for a walk with taking Logan, meeting Joe and his boys
Oh, that's
because it's
cool.
Joe's birthday on Saturday. We're going to go for a walk, let the kids play.
Man, it's like everybody's
Sitting,
birthday in your sphere.
yeah, sitting, kind of just put the worlds to rights between me and Joe, and then going back to his and having some bit of food before I go and have more food.
Nice. Something good. Your body's gonna be like, you didn't feed me for 3 days, and now all you're doing is feeding me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down the eating like clean meats and vegetables option and just pace is the idea. You're really struggling with your headphones, are you?
I
Dead.
can't,
Oh no.
I can't hear anything at the moment. Maybe now. Try now. He didn't say anything. Okay, there. We're back. Okay. So I thought I asked Sean if it was a Sean problem. It's not a Sean problem for anybody who's still here. It's a Nick headphone wire problem. I think I'm gonna have to buy a new one before we podcast again because it's
What
you're
is it?
right.
Just a 3.5 to 3.5 jack?
I wish. It's a stupid
Oh.
what I can't remember what these things are called anymore. I mean I really like them. What are they? Steel Series. It's the Steel Series, so it's
Okay.
like 3.5 to micro USB or whatever. Yeah, it's very proprietary. Otherwise, I would just run over and get one. But yeah, so actually, I had a really long one, and that died too, and so I
Yeah.
went back to the one that came with it, and now it's dead too. So now I'm gonna buy more. So there we go. Anyways, that's enough of that. That's exciting though. I mean, not about, well, I'm about eating all the food. You know, nothing wrong with eating all the food, but yeah, I understand
When
going back to the clean thing next week.
no, no. I mean, like if I think we're having some barbecue food, so I've said I'll make a potato salad to take down,
Hmm,
as long as it's egg free, so no mayo. Because one of the boys has got an egg allergy,
gotcha,
and I'll probably take something else down as well, but I don't know what yet.
gotcha.
I might try and get some nice burgers and some good sausage.
Make tachos.
Mm, tachos. That might be a really good idea.
It would fit. It would fit really well. Everybody would be like, "What is this weird food?" And then you could just be like, "Don't ask. It's my stupid American friend." And everybody would be like, "Oh, yeah, okay, we
I
get
don't
it."
say that. I'd say it. How do I know that? Say oh yeah, my friend. Usually my friend Nick who lives in Michigan. That's
Okay,
how I
okay.
usually.
Well, that's nice of you.
So
Like, what is this
you
dumb
know.
food? It's an American thing. I get it. I wouldn't blame you either way, but I appreciate you. So the last thing I want to talk about, which is just kind of like, I don't know, it's one of those more baffling things, Sean, and I'm very proud of her. So let me start with that. I'm not like this. It's because it's going to sound weird when I say it the way I was about to say it. But Ariel's been playing travel soccer. I've talked about it a million times on this podcast for like the last 2 years. She is good, okay, but she has a lot to learn, and she yeah, sometimes she's not in the right space or she doesn't really know what to do, and I've been happy to watch her grow and get better and start to understand the game more and appreciate the game more and all that jazz. But still, like, she sometimes struggles to like know where she needs to be or to be in the right spot at the right time. And Sean, I don't know what happened, but like 2 weekends ago, she played a game on Sunday, and she was like on fire. Like she just knew where to be. She was there when she needed to be. She was there sometimes before she needed to be. She was like seeing what was going on before like it happened. And I was like, my gosh, you played an amazing game. I was like, I don't know what happened, but if you can like just keep that going, that would be awesome. And so I really wondered. I was kind of bummed that I was not going to see her play because we took Noah up to the bowling. Ariel stayed back to play her game with Grandma, and so I was like really interested. After the game, I texted like Crystal and I said, "How'd she do?" Crystal was like, "She played the entire game. She never got taken out once. She like controlled the middle like nobody else." And also, she was being so aggressive that she kind of ran over a girl that was quite a bit taller than her and got a yellow card. And I was like, "Holy crap!" Like I was like blown away. I was like, "Are you serious?" And so like when I finally got to talk to her later that day, she was like, "Dad, are you mad that I got a yellow card?" And I was like, "I don't think so." I was like, "What did your coach say?" She was like, "He said I did what I taught him, and that just happens sometimes." And I was like, I was like, "Cool, I'm not mad. Good for you."
Yeah. Didn't go in there and double foot tackle and on purpose. You
Yeah.
just you had a you had a purpose and you went for it.
Yeah, yeah. Dave said it was like because I talked to him today as when I dropped Ariel off, and he said it was a yellow card. I don't think they miscalled it. He was like, but it was like a caution how you're playing kind of yellow card, and he said and it was in the last 2 minutes. He was like, I was fine with it. So basically, she missed where the girl was going to be with the ball and went for the ball, but ended up kind of more on the girl is what is what ended up happening. So
It happens.
yeah, and so and so I asked her, I was like, Ariel, can you tell me, like, you are playing a whole different level of soccer at this point from like 2 weeks ago, even. I was like, do you know what, like what happened? Like, what did you learn? What did you see? What are you doing to understand like this thing, the mechanics of the game? And she was like, I don't know. I was like, well, wait, what do you mean you don't? What do you mean you don't know? Like you're playing on a different level from 2 weeks ago. And she was like, I just kind of get it now. She was like, I think I understand more of what I need to do. And it's probably the like logical, like I want to put all the blocks in the right places and be able to like use the information. And I'm like, no, that is not I did not say this, but I was just
Yeah.
more like, okay, I'm really glad and I'm really proud of you and you're doing great and keep it up. But in my head, I'm thinking that's not an acceptable answer. I want to know why this clicks for you so I can use it for other things. Like, so I can be like, let's use the same like method to help something else click for you. But
Yeah.
it really does
You,
seem like it just clicked for her.
the only one thing was, do you think it's a case of trial and error that she's tried to play different ways and it hasn't worked out for her, and she's kind of landed and clicked with a way that feels right and is allowing her to be how she was? It's like, imagine playing a video game and you've not got the instructions, which you don't do the tutorial. Most people skip it, and you've got to
Right.
kind of figure it out on the fly as you're doing it, and then eventually the mechanics of like, this enemy is always going to do this, and this enemy is
Mm-hmm.
always going to do that, and you know where to move, how to dodge, how to attack properly, and you end up getting better and better at the game. Do you think that's the case, that she's just kind of subconsciously has done the stuff that she's needed to do, and it's just all clicked, that she knows she's got the confidence, she knows how the ball feels at her feet, she knows, like, she knows her limitations in terms of like how fast I can run with the ball and like where I can place the ball, and
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's a lot of muscle memory that just takes time to go and click
Yeah.
into place.
And maybe that's what happened because, like, when you to use your analogy, which is a really good one, when you like fight a boss, right? You get like, oh, I died right away. Oh, now I made it a third. Okay, now I'm making it a half. Okay, now like, but there was none of that. I mean, that's the wrong way to say it. There was definitely progression throughout her time playing in the last 2 years. So I know that was not. I don't want to say she hasn't grown in 2 years and all of a sudden she did, but like not like this. Like, yeah, and maybe that's it. Maybe like it was all just right there on the surface, and that's what. So she was invited to a summer league. I was a bit nervous about it because it was kind of a level up from what she's already doing, and I was like, so I talked to her coach, who I really trust. I mean, he's a good guy. And I was like, do you think this is like, I know you invited her, but do you really like, do you think? And he was like, yeah, she's gonna get it. She's like, he's like right there. And I was kind of like, okay, kind of just more on the trusting thing. But yeah, so maybe that it's just like all there on the surface, and it all just kind of, all the blocks fell into place at like one time. But
Yeah,
it's crazy.
especially if
And
she was playing with girls that were a higher ability of her, so she had to push to kind of meet where they're at, but also seeing
mm-hmm,
how they play. And she's kind of gone, oh, I can get away with doing this, and I can, I want to be a certain way. So
mm-hmm. Yeah, and so Becca mentioned this, and I will say this from last year. We lost two strikers. Well, actually, they were defenders that the coach had given the ability to move up and down the field because they were like that fast and good. So we lost those two strikers to another league, kind of next level type league type deal, right? So Becca had said, I wonder if some of it was like she didn't feel like she had the space to do her thing because like those two, they weren't ball hogs by any sense of the means. I'm not saying that, but it's like when they're doing all that, you're kind of just like running alongside of them, right? It's just kind of
Yeah.
like, their ball skills were like their footwork is next level above anybody else that was on that team. And they both just kind of got asked to come to a higher level league. And so they left our team. And so yeah, so I don't know, like maybe that played a part in it too. Like she just didn't feel like she had the space to learn or to like do her piece, or she didn't feel like it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Especially
it was
she's now
interesting.
getting more time. Like you say, she's gone from like a a third a third of a half a game sort of thing on the pitch, and
Hmm.
she's now getting like all the time on there. Her fitness as well. If her fitness is increasing because she's running around more, she's doing more, you know, she's going to feel confident. Like if she feels like she can run for the full, like, how long is it that they play for at
It's an
her
hour.
age
It's
now?
2 30-minute halves.
Yeah. So if she's running around for an hour, but especially playing soccer, it's a lot of stop start and sprinting.
Hmm.
If
Yeah.
her like that's if her anaerobic fitness, because that's what that is,
Hmm.
has like increased, especially if she's been at it for as long as she has now, she'll just have the confidence that she knows she can sprint, she can run with the ball, and she's not going to get out of breath and be tired and embarrassed because kids get embarrassed when they're like out of breath and they can't
Hmm.
keep up.
Hmm.
So there could be that as well. They could just be like you say, there's so much that could have just gone at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been amazing to watch. Super proud of her. She never complained about like, "Oh, Dad, I only played, like 10 minutes this game or whatever." Like that was never her. I was always proud of her for that. Because that was never part of like her deal. And so yeah. So I don't know, but it's been crazy to like watch and also really cool all at the same time. And there's the part of me that likes to take stuff apart, like
Yeah.
that and like figure out how it works. Like I wish that was only machines, but I'm in social work for a reason because I like to figure out like, okay, what made you do this and how can we use that to help you down the road. And so there's that part of me that's like can't stop trying to analyze why that happened and how can, but I think you're right. Like there's not going to be like an answer that just neatly fits in that section. But again, it's been cool. So
Yeah. She from that, she's definitely one of those kids that maybe takes the time to get things, but then once it locks in, she's like super focused and ability wise just comes naturally once it's
mhm.
realized what she needs to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I definitely think that's where she's at now. Like, I mean, Dave has been her coach was. I mean, even today when she was like, he was like, yeah, he was like, she's the only one that'll be a pit bull in the middle for me. That's literally his words, and he was like, so as long as she's got that in her, she won't leave the field, and so
Ace.
yeah,
No, I'm proud because you were at one point was shocked that she wanted to do soccer out of everything, and then now you're telling me that you're shocked at how good she's at it, and you're really proud. So
yeah, yeah. No, there was a point last summer that I really thought she might be done. She might, and we've never told her to play and we've never told her not to play. That's always been a her thing. Except we always we do the same thing with all of our kids. I don't care if you play or don't play this season, but the moment you say you're going to play this season, you're going to play this season. There's no like you're not pulling out halfway because you're not super excited about it or you wish you don't want to anymore. Like you've committed to a team, now you're in it for the season. Next season, you can totally say no. That's up to you. But that's our only rule when it comes to that. So yeah, last summer she didn't want to play like the summer league. She wasn't like feeling it, and so I really thought this she might have run her course in this sport, but crazy things. So it's been fun.
oh, cool. I like it.
Yeah,
Both finishing today's episode on very positive notes.
yeah,
So
for sure.
I like it. I hope everybody liked our episode last week with the Mario movie. I apologize if we spoiled anything for you, but always read the label
Yeah.
because the first thing it said was warning, spoiler alerts with exclamation marks.
Yeah.
So,
No, I
you
thought you
kind
did
of missed
very
it.
good. Yeah, I thought you did. I mean, it wasn't like it was in the notes and you'd have to like scroll down to find it. It was like literally the title. So yeah, no, I thought you did. I thought you did very good on that one.
Yeah.
Huh.
But no, I'm good. How long have we gone for tonight?
We will be at 1 hour in 40 seconds.
Oh, okay, cool, perfect. That is the perfect length for a one episode this week because there is no dart topic. The only thing we had to touch on was the like Nick not understanding how his dart has gone from like Sunday League to playing like Ronaldo in 2 weeks.
I love it.
But no, I really do hope everybody's doing well. Be nice to hear from some people about how you're doing and like if you have any plans for stuff in the holidays this year, if you're going anywhere nice, if you're doing anything, or if you might bump into Nick at Universal. You never know. That would be cool. But no, thanks very much everybody for listening, and until next week, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Dad Crossing. We're here to remind you that this podcast is made by dads for dads. It's a place where all of us can come together, share a laugh, and tackle the wild ride that is fatherhood. If you want to keep the conversation going or just need a safe space to chat or ask for help, you are always welcome to reach out. You can find me, Sean, at Sean_Abbott, and you can find my good friend Nick at Nick10Do. And of course, give our social media platforms a good look over because that is where we share all the updates, all the laughs, and all the things dad life. That is, everything is at Dad Crossing. For anything more, feel free to drop us a message at team@dadcrossing.com. And until next time, stay strong, stay connected, and remember, you're never alone on this journey. We'll see you in the next episode of Dad Crossing.